for a new civil service system for our community, and hopefully they will place it on the ballot as soon as possible. We would create the position of personnel officer and eliminate the current position of the director of civil service. I've had this discussion with Mr. Massey, and to his credit, personally, if this is created, he would not be able to run for office. And he understands that and has accepted that, and matter of fact, has encouraged and supported it because he believes strongly that the position being proposed is a much stronger position than the current position that we have. I believe that the program has grown so much, and under the personnel officer position, so much more can be offered to the city. For example, workmen's compensation claims and premiums are costing the city approximately $2 million per year, with a substantial amount being tail claims, which are old claims, some going back to 1992. With a personnel officer, we can begin to use that office to assist us in reducing these costs. There are many other benefits to this program, including accountability, and I hope you see fit as a body to place this on the ballot, and I hope that Middletown residents will support this initiative. The fire department had its busiest year ever. First, let me begin by recognizing Chief Duggan for his 27 years of service with the City Fire Department, 11 in the Chief's line. His term in office will be ending in a few months, and on behalf of our residents and members of the Common Council, I would like to thank you for your tenure as Chief and the many years of dedicated service to our community. As Chief Duggan moves on, we will welcome First Assistant Chief Tom Amadeo to the position, and I'm looking forward to working with him, and I'm also looking forward to watch him work with his brother, Michael. I don't know which one I'm looking forward more to. That's not written, by the way. We are making several changes in the operation of the fire department, some brought about by the technology and some based upon the financial means of the city. We have made significant changes, not all welcome, but I believe necessary. We have ordered a new straight fire truck to replace the 21-year-old Excelsior hook and ladder that required firefighters to drive the truck. This truck was a long-time Middletown tradition that I felt ran its course. This allowed for a reduction through attrition of 4 positions in the fire department. We will also transfer all second call dispatching to the 911 center, allowing for the dispatcher, firefighter to be free to answer second calls. This is the equivalent of hiring 4 firefighters at no expense with this creative use of manpower. Fire department overtime is a concern for me also. Some have argued privately in our safety meetings that reduced manpower, that the administration has created the overtime need. The facts don't support that argument. In 2007, we had 34 paid men, and the overtime gross was $613,000. In 2008, with 37 paid men, the overtime gross was $453,000. In 2011, with less than 32 paid men, the overtime gross was $325,000. In 2011, the council shifted management responsibility of the fire department to my office. And working with all 4 fire chiefs, the system is changing and the overtime numbers are improving. My plan for this department is to have a paid force of 28 firefighters, supplemented with the part-time certified firefighters to control overtime and improve truck coverage. Tomorrow we begin interviews to bring this department up to full complement. Once the changes are implemented, we will have more coverage at less cost. These changes allow the department to fulfill its mission statement of the department, which is to protect our residents and protect the quality of life and property of those who live, work, invest, or visit in our community. And we can all agree on that mission. How we do it, this is sometimes an area of disagreement. We saw the tremendous commitment of the fire department, paid and volunteer personnel, during the major tropical storms, Irene and Lee. And I thank them all for their efforts on a daily basis, but especially during this crisis. Another policy initiative taken in relationship to the fire department was reestablishing the lien process on fire proceeds. We found that owners of property suffering substantial fire damage often abandon those properties, yet have received insurance proceeds, leaving the city responsible for the cleanup. The fire at 14 Highland Avenue demonstrated that for whatever reasons, the city was not following this order that I originally implemented in the early 2000s. I immediately put this directive back in place, and there will be an annual reminder from our Corporation Council to all impacted departments that they must comply. City taxpayers should not foot the bill for the demolition while property owners collect on the insurance proceeds. The storms Irene and Lee required the city emergency response plan to go into effect, and except for the communication gap, it worked quite well. Volunteers from all walks of life assisted with the operation of the emergency shelters and our fire department. The school district assisted us in opening and operating the shelter, and our paid and volunteer firefighters, along with the police department, played an important role in the saving of many lives. Our system of paid firefighters, combined with volunteers, is working well. Recruitment efforts are working with the addition of 25 new volunteer members. Drills are averaging 40 volunteers in attendance, and this type of combined department saves Middletown taxpayers millions of dollars per year. For your commitment and dedication to the city, we thank you. And again, Chief Duggan, thank you for your years of service. The Department of Public Works, while always busy, has had many new challenges in 2011. Commissioner Tawil and his staff are doing an excellent job. The new wastewater treatment plant and water plants are now totally fully operational after many years of debate and in some cases mismanagement by elected officials. The political bickering that occurred in 2005 and 2006 cost the city of Middletown taxpayers approximately $5 million. City taxpayers invested $69 million to replace the water treatment plant and upgrade and expand the sewer plant and related projects. The city, through the efforts of Congressman Hinchy, was successful in securing a $14 million ERA funding grant to reduce the impact of these projects on local city ratepayers. Even with this grant, city ratepayers were forced to absorb the cost of the mismanagement and the new debt. And we saw these rates grow at a pace that is unacceptable. That's the negative side. The positive side is that these new facilities will allow the city to leverage our infrastructure, to generate economic activity, and to attract new business and revenue, not only to the city, but to the surrounding townships. We commissioned a new safe yield study to document the availability of raw and finished water for our future development in this area. Our goal is to become the wholesale supplier of water and sewer services in this region of Orange County. We currently have an agreement in place with the town of Wawayanda to sell up to 200,000 gallons of water and sewer service per day to their district. We have reconstructed the Mill Pond Dam, an important component of the city raw water system, and we extended the 18-inch water line down County Route 78, which we hope in the next year or so, this will be extended even further towards Dolson Avenue to be ready to meet the future commercial, industrial, and residential development of Dolson Avenue and the 17M corridor. Why is this important? It creates redundancy in our system, and we will have enough flow to expand the Wawayanda agreement when needed, and also to sell to any outside the city user in that section of County Road 78. We are hopeful to complete negotiations with CPV, the new power plant being constructed in the town of Wawayanda very soon, and the city will derive significant water and sewer revenue from this project. These monies will be used to improve our aging infrastructure, considering the fact that Middletown is a very old city. The new sewer plant also allows us to accept septic and leachate from outside haulers, and this revenue line has grown to approximately $240,000 in 2011 and is projected to peak at about in 2012, with the goal being $400,000 in revenue. Without this new plant, that would not have been possible. All of this was done while addressing our aging street infrastructure. The Sterling Street Sewer Line project will be completed soon at a cost of $3.5 million. We will begin construction of the new sewer line from the Trolley School to Elm Street in 2012. The relief sewer line on Dulcet Avenue was installed and totally paid for, as I mentioned, by private developers, saving the taxpayers $500,000. Again, this is why the lawsuit with the school district is so important, because a negative decision may let private developers off the hook, and probably would have let the Dulcet Avenue people off the hook when it comes to mitigating impacts on municipalities. We replaced old fatigued infrastructure components from the Wawayanda and Monhegan stormwater culverts, improving the quality of life of many property owners in the Wawayanda Avenue corridor at a cost of $600,000. This was funded by a federal government grant.